Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to urgently try to save this Epipremnum aureum snow queen. As you can see, there are many leaves that are yellowing at an alarming rate. I'm not sure what's happening. So let's get some cuttings before this dies on me. So this snow queen actually started off as a single leaf cutting that I managed to save from the original plant, which was already long gone. So from the single leaf, which is no longer around, it actually grew into this beautiful plant with two long vines. This is one of them. This is the other vine, not as long, but it has many aerial roots. So it's actually primed for propagation. I need to urgently propagate this because something is happening. The leaves are turning yellow, and I believe the cause of it should be this. If you can see, there are actually scale insects on the stem of this plant and on some of the leaves as well, if you look closely. So they are draining the lives out of these leaves really quickly. This used to be a much larger plant with a lot of leaves at the top. Let me try to find a video or a photo of this plant that was in prime condition, I think about 2 months ago. I'll put it up here. You can see it was much larger then. So let me try to get rid of the scale and at the same time propagate this beautiful snow queen. So I can see that in addition to the attack of the scale insect, there is stem rot that is happening here as well. So it's also a good time to propagate this. Yeah, let you take another look how bad the top is. So what I'm going to do first is to chop off the healthier vines. So I can actually cut them off first before I address the older part of the plants where the scales are. This is really long, so I can get many cuttings. And as you can see, the aerial roots are really long. So I'll cut it off at this part where the scale infestation ends. So this is one single vine. Oh, actually there are 4 vines, but this one is literally leafless. I think most of the leaves were infected and they have dropped off. Yeah, there are actually scale on the stems. For this vine, I'll try to remove most of the scale and treat it before cutting it. Right, this is the 3rd vine. See, it looks pretty good, really fresh. Alright, this one looks good too, but as you can see, 2 of the leaves are yellowing and I can see some scale. So I'm going to cut this part off and treat this separately. And this is the 4th vine. This is very nice as well. Most of them have this very beautiful marbled variegation, but some have more green in them. So it looks really nice together. Very nice contrast. Okay, I'm done cutting out all the vines. I'm just going to remove all those yellow leaves. I know they are not going to make it. Yeah, so these are some of the yellow leaves. I lost a lot more. I think I've lost more than 20 of them over the course of the past month. I should have treated this much earlier. You know what? I'm just going to cut this last vine off as well because as you can see, the original stems are totally dried up. I'm not sure whether if anything is going to grow out of this. So I've cut off 5 vines. I've separated them accordingly. So these are the good vines which are not infected with scales. And for these 2 vines, I can see that there are some scale on them. Yeah, like this. So I'm going to treat this. This definitely has some scales on them. Whoa, that is a lot. I should just throw this away. I'll try to scrape them off and treat them with neem oil. Okay, let me get some cuttings out of those healthy vines first. Let me start off with the longest one. Yeah, look how beautiful the stems are. You can actually see the variegation on them. Right, the next vine. This is such a beautiful vine. And it looks as if I can just place them together, even without cutting, and yeah, just root it as such. And, yeah, let's see if it works. I hope I don't break anything. Okay, ta-da! Okay, let's continue cutting the other vines. Okay, I've chopped out all the healthy vines. I have many cuttings here, which I'm going to put all this into water. Those with longer area roots, I can actually pot them out directly into a potting medium. These cuttings are really wet because I've washed them with soap. Just want to make sure that they're really clean. So this is another pot of cuttings in water propagation. So I have 5 cuttings that have very long aerial roots. I'm going to pot this directly into an aroid mix. This is a 10 cm plastic nursery pot. I'm going to take some of the bigger pieces to lay the base. This has a really long root. Let me try to tour the root into the potting medium. Alright, and this is done. Looking really nice. Hopefully it will grow out really soon. Alright, let's look at the first cutting that's infected with scale. This is a small one, but actually this is not too bad. I don't really see much. Maybe I'll just try to scrape it off and yeah, give it a good wash. You can try to use a razor blade, but I don't have it at the moment. So what I'm going to do is to just scrape it off using my pair of scissors. They're coming off pretty easily. Okay, and finally the longest one. Let me remove this yellow leaf. So what I'm going to do is for this, I'm going to give them a good wash in soap as well, and I will soak them in a neem oil solution. Probably overnight. Yeah, so I'll see you guys in maybe another month or so and give you an update on their progress. See you then. Okay, so these are the cuttings that are in water propagation. So this one is one single cutting that I twirl around, and look, there are actually roots, water roots that have grown out. Yeah, this leaf is dying because I think there are still some scale on it. So yeah, this is, oh yeah, this is gone. But I'm just amazed how fast the roots have grown. Yeah, check out the other one. I think there are many water roots as well. Look at the fresh white roots that have sprouted out. There's so many of them, and this is just within a matter of 7 days. So I would say this water propagation is really doing well. Yep, of course there are some leaves that are yellowing, but there is a new leaf too. This is a new baby leaf, so small and soft. But the other pot of cuttings in water propagation isn't doing that fantastic. These are the one that still pretty much affected by the thrips. So most of the leaves are already dying. Yeah, this stem has rotten off. It's really kind of mushy. Right, there's another leafless stem here. Oh wait, but this is showing some signs of growth. There are some growth points here, but no roots yet. Alright, so for the cuttings that were potted up directly into an potting medium, they are still doing really well. Very perky, and no dying leaves yet. So this is good. I think I've only watered this once, and it seems to be okay. No new growth to be seen. And finally, let's look at the original plant, or rather what's left of it. Remember, there were some dying stems. I think they are already dead. Some of the stems are still green, and I'm really thrilled. Can you see there's a new growth here? And yeah, some new growth that's coming out from this green stem as well. So yeah, this is a quick update of the cuttings after 7 days. Okay, today is the 25th of July, so it's about 3 weeks since my last update and a month from propagation. Let's start off with some bad news. This is the original plant. I think it has totally dried up. There were actually new growth coming from the nodes, as well as a new leaf that unfurled, a very small one. But that quickly turned brown, so I think at one point I overwatered this. I'm very sure this is totally dead, it's gone. I don't think I can save this. So let's put this aside and look at the rest. Okay, there are some cuttings I put in water propagation together with this silver sword. I think it's mainly dead. This was the one that was still quite infected by scale, I think. But there is some new growth here. These are some new leaves that sprouted out. This part of the stem is still green. So maybe I can, oh yeah, and there's a new growth point here. Some parts are definitely dead. I can cut this off. There are parts that are still green, and you can even see new growth points here. There's another one here. On a happier note, these are my cuttings in water propagation. The roots are definitely very happy, and I can even see a new growth here, new leaves that are coming out, more growth points. This is the other one. Yeah, of course I've lost some leaves, but that's fine because the roots are doing really well. This is the single cutting that I twirl around. I can actually pot this up as it is. This leaf is dead. Give these cuttings in water propagation probably another 2 more weeks, and then I can pot them up. I will try not to let them sit in water for too long, because sometimes you will find the roots are starting to turn black. And finally, the cuttings that I potted up directly into the potting medium, I'm really happy with this. It's doing well. I've not lost any of the leaves. In fact, I have new growth and new leaves that are coming out. This is new and this is new. As well as the one behind, this one. I'm giving it a lot of bright light, and also I water this really frequently because it dries up really quickly. So I must say I'm really happy with this one. And look at the variegation in the latest leaf. It's really nice. And for this, I guess it's adios. Bye. So today is the 17th of August, about slightly more than 3 weeks after my last update, and 2 months from propagation. Let's take a look at the cuttings which are totally not doing well. These are the ones that, or rather these were the ones that's in this water propagation. I think they have totally died back. Yeah, look at this horrible mess. Ew. So these are gone, very dead. Yeah, I'm supposed to pot up this silver sword cuttings too, long overdue. And as you see from the last update, the parent plant was gone, no longer in existence. So let's look at the rest of the cuttings. Right, the next one is this pot of cuttings that are potted in directly in potting medium. They are really doing well. In fact, there are constant new growth, new leaves that are coming out. I think this is a new one. And yeah, like this one too. Okay, this is a little bit floppy because it's due for watering soon. Yeah, so overall this is doing great. Bit dry. This is a new leaf. As you can see, it's still very soft and very light in color. And finally, the cuttings in water. They have grown more roots. So I think it's definitely time to pot it up. This is the one that's one long cutting which I twirl inside this container of water. I'm going to use this recycled potting medium, which is really loose. So let me pot up the smaller one first. I'm going to use this nursery pot, which is about 10 cm across. So let me put some cocoa chips at the base. And I'll fill it up halfway. So let's take a look at the roots again. Got to be really careful because this is one long vine. Oh, this has dropped off. So the roots of this cutting is really nice. Well, I think this pot size is just nice. First one is done. And pot of cuttings. But this is harder because I think there are several cuttings in there. And it has grown out new baby leaves. Well, actually there are about 10 cuttings here. So that's quite a lot. I'm going to use a slightly bigger pot. This is definitely deeper and maybe this is about 12 cm across. But I have enough potting medium. Well, check out some of the roots. Yeah, and this new leaf is so cute. Look at this. It's almost a heart shape. Alright, this leaf is yellowing, but I can see there are new growth coming out. There's a lot of cuttings. Got to be careful not to bury the small leaves. I'm going to water them using the water that they have been propagating in. So full of growth hormones. The second pot. Alright, so everyone is potted up. So this pot was the one that's been potted up since day one in potting medium. And these two pots of cuttings were in water propagation. So now I have 3 pots of snow queen. I don't know why they look so yellow on screen, but in person it's actually much lighter. I'm not sure whether can I put a photo up here in proper lighting. Yeah, but this looks much whiter in person. Yeah, and there was one leaf that I'm really drawn to. I think it's this one. Look at the variegation. It's really beautiful. Thank you for watching this propagation episode. I hope you have liked and enjoyed this content. I hope you have found it useful and entertaining. So if you have enjoyed contents like that, do consider subscribing to my channel. I'm going to have more videos like that. I will see you again in my next episode. So meanwhile, take care and remember to show your plants some love.